Hello everybody, welcome to day 6 of our Beadalong. Hopefully you enjoyed making some corals and some leaves and making your underwater world a little bit more lively yesterday. Please don't sew anything down onto your base yet, because like you said at the very beginning, sometimes plans change or you realize you don't like something, or you might run out of room. So just wait till the end to sew everything down, okay? Alrighty, so today's video we're going to be learning how to make little beaded jellyfish like these. And they are so cute. I think these would make adorable little earrings. And they're really not that difficult to make. You will need some Superduos. I don't know if you can see here. I've got 4 Superduos on here. And to get like a clear look, I used these. They're very slightly pink beads, but they are not actually, they're basically clear with a slight pink tinge to them. I didn't have any clear beads. You could use frosted beads if you have those. That's if you want it to look clear like this, which I think is a good look. And I actually messed up the bottom right here on this one. But here you'll see I did like a kind of darker color right at the bottom and right at the top. So you can kind of make patterns on your jellyfish. Today I'm going to be using, instead of the clear, just so that you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to be using these bright red Superduos. And be sure when you're using your Superduos that you are checking your holes, because you do not want to get stuck, okay? I've also got some bright pink beads so that I can show just kind of, I'm going to try and make a little design on my jellyfish, I think. And then I have my clear beads. I have some, that's the bead that I used in the middle here and like here on this one and around the base, which I think just gives a slight touch of color, but not overwhelming. I've got some 8-0s. These are actually a Miyuki mix number 6 from Caravan Beads, and I just picked out some of the more pink and beige colored options. And then I've got some 15s, and I think these are Toho 15s number 147 I'm using. So you just need an assortment of 11s, some 8s, 15s, and Superduos. And I'm using Dragonthread today, just to get slightly better drape than Fireline would give. You could also use anything like KO or Miyuki thread, any of those nylon threads would work as well, okay? And I mean, I'm sure Fireline would work. You just might need to not pull as tight with your little jellyfish tail, okay? All right, so let's get started making some jellyfish. Okay, so to begin with, you're going to need just over a meter, maybe like 105 centimeters, which is about 40 inches of thread. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by making a little stack. So the first thing to do is we're going to pick up 6 11-0s. Okay, so 6 11-0s. We're going to push those down, but we're going to leave a 14-inch tail. So just over a foot, or kind of 35 centimeters, that would be. So I'm just measuring. So you're going to leave, like I said, a 14-inch tail. So make sure that you've got that at the end, and then you're going to go up. Got your 6 beads. You've got 14 inches coming off here, and then this is my working side, okay? I'm going to go up the first 3 beads. So you're going to have a little stack of 2 like this, and then you're going to go down the next 3 and keep them stacked next to each other, okay? Then I'm going to pick up 3 more, and I'm coming out of the bottom of my stack here on this side. So I'm going to go into the top on this column with my 3 to create another little stack next to it. Okay. And then I need to move forward, so I'm going to sew up the stack that I just added. So I now have 3 rows with 3 beads. Then I'm going to pick up 3 more, and I'm going to go up the last column because my thread's coming out the top, so I'm going in the bottom. So I now have a stack, 4 columns wide and 3 tall. And I'm going to move forward into the 4th stack. And then I want to form it into a loop, so I am going to just put my working thread on the left-hand side here, and I'm going to sew down into, sorry, I'm coming out the bottom, so I have to enter in the bottom. I'm going to sew up the right-hand column, and this is my tail, okay? And that's going to fold it over. And then I have to join this very top bit here. So I'm going to sew back down where I just came from. And then again, I'm going to re-enter into where my thread is. My tail thread is coming out. I'm just going to sew right up there. Okay. All right. So I should now have a little square of 4 that is 3 high. Okay. And I'm coming out, and my tail, I have 14 inches, and my working thread, I have the rest of it, okay? So it looks like this. All right. So now we're going to start adding the very top of our jellyfish. So I'm going to pick up 1 11-0, and I'm going to go, I'm coming out right here. I'm going to go down this column. And so I have this sitting just across the top of that column there. And then I'm going to move up the next column like this. Okay, so I have my 3, I'm here, and I'm coming out the top. I'm going to turn to the next blank space. I'm going to go down here like this. Okay, so that's going to put 1 right at the top. Okay, now I'm going to turn again to the next spot. I'm going to go up the next 3. pick up one. Coming out the top here, I'm going down right here. So that's added another one in between, so I now have 3, okay? So I just have one more side. So I'm going to move up. I'm going to turn again. And I'm going to add my last bead on the top. I'm going to go down. And then I need to get back up there, so just pass back up to where those 4 beads are that we've just added. So this is what the bottom looks like. Just got your 4 columns, and then on the top here I have 4 beads like this, okay? So I'm going to sew through all 4 of these beads going sideways. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need to go into the first one just to close up that square. Okay, so we now have this on the top, and we have our stacks of 3 underneath. Okay, and we're coming out of one of the ones on the top here. All right, so now we're going to add 1 Superduo between each of these 4 beads on the top. So go ahead, pick up your Superduo, make sure that you did check your holes, and sew into the next bead. Pick up a Superduo, sew into the next bead. Pick up a Superduo, sew into the next bead, and last time, pick up a Superduo, sew into the next bead, and pass through that first Superduo again. Okay, so now we're going to add 2 beads in between each Superduo. So pick up 2 and just enter straight into the next Superduo, and we're still sewing through the same hole, the one that's closest to the middle, okay? We're just going to add 2 beads like that all the way around. So we're adding 2, we're adding 2. We're adding 2, and we're adding 2. Okay. So it looks like this on the top. So now we're going to pass into our very first 11-0. We're going to pick up 2 more 11-0s. I'm switching colors here. Okay, and I'm going to sew into that 11-0 plus the Superduo plus the next 11-0. And that's going to create the beginning of a herringbone seam right here, okay? And we're going to do that all the way around. So go ahead, pick up 2, go into the next seed bead, plus the Superduo, plus the next seed bead. Okay. And again, pick up 2, and one more time, pick up 2. And here when we get to the end, we are going to sew into, just like we were doing, the next 11, the Superduo, and the 11. Okay. So we now have this. All right, so now we're going to sew up the next 11 of our little pair there, okay? We're going to pick up 2 more 11s. We're going to sew into the second bead here, and then we're going to sew into the outer hole of our Superduo. Okay. Then we're going to pick up 4 seed beads, 4 11 O's. And we're going to go through the Superduo again. So it looks like that. Okay. Now we're going to sew into, see, you have 4 beads here. So you're going to sew down, or like outwards through that outer bead there that's closest to the Superduo. You're going to pick up 2. You're going to go down this one and then into that outer hole of the next Superduo. Okay, so I'm going through the second bead on the outer side and then through the Superduo. So we have this. And then I'm going to pick up 4 and go through the Superduo again. And then I can pass into, of my next 4, that first outer bead. And make sure you're going towards the middle out. You know, don't go in it this way. Make sure you're going out that bead right there, okay? Go ahead, pick up 2 more. Go into that second bead right there and into your outer hole of your Superduo. Pick up 4. Go into your Superduo again. And last time, go into that outer bead. Pick up 2. Go into the second 11-0 and into your outer hole on your Superduo. So you should be forming nice little herringbone columns here, okay? And then you're going to pick up your 4 and go through that Superduo again, okay? And now we're going to work on our other piece of thread. So you can either leave your needle attached, or I'm going to just unattach it and thread the one that's coming out of my little stub, okay? So change over to your other thread for a minute. And this is because it's going to get hard to reach in here in a minute. So we have to stop there and work on our other thread. Okay, so I've changed over my thread. So I'm now on the one that is coming out, but don't cut your other one that we were doing because we still have to finish the top. So you should be coming out one of the stacks of columns out the bottom here. So we're going to start adding our fringe. And there is no correct way to do this or wrong way to do this. It's just make it up as you go. So I like to kind of mix my 11s, my 15s, sorry, my 15s and my 8s, but mostly like 15s. And if you think about a jellyfish, they kind of peter out. So what I did on this one, you'll see like I have 2 slightly longer and 2 slightly shorter, but they also, what I did was I branched off of some of them to make it look more full. So I tried to kind of space it out so that it kind of looks like the middle section of a jellyfish, which just looks kind of, it tapers out, but it's also kind of blobby. Okay. So you're just going to have to go by sight, really. And it should be about, this is a 2-inch beading needle. So it should be a little over 1 inch. You can make it, you know, as long as you want, but don't make it too long or it's going to look strange, I think. And the other thing I did was 2 of the, if we look at my branches on this one, so I did one really short one here that hardly has anything on it. And then I did 2 really longer ones, and then I did 1 medium. So these 2 don't have any branches coming off. These 2 I did do little branches coming off, and I did them at different heights so that it would look different. And you kind of want them all to be like different lengths as well. So there, like I say, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just don't want them to be way too long. So I'm just going to pick up, say, 2, and then I'm going to pick up one of these blobby things. Maybe I'm going to pick up a hot pink. I'm going to pick up a few more of these. Might pick up an 11. So you see, I'm just randomly picking up things. And if you think, oh, it might be good to have a little branch off here, you can pick up a few 15s in a row, because I think it branches better from like an area with 15s than it would coming out, say, right here, you know. But that's entirely up to you. I mean, you're the designer here, okay? So this is going to be my longest tail right here, I think. Once you've got your first one on, yeah, I think that's a good length. So this is what I've got. So I've got 2 15s, an 8, and 11, 2 15s, and 11, 4 15s, and 8, 2 15s, and 11, 1 15, and 8, and 11, and 2 15s. So I've just kind of mixed it up. Colors, everything is just mixed up. So you're going to push all that down, and just like we did yesterday with the fringing. You have to skip that first one, otherwise they will all fall off if you sew back up. So skip that first bead, and I'm going to sew up. And here I'm going to branch out. I'm going to come out one of these 15s, maybe this one, okay? So I haven't sewn all the way back up because I'm going to put a branch on this one. So now I'm just going to pick up like 2 15s and an 11 and a 15, and that'll be a good little branch there. Okay, so I don't make my branches very long at all. I tend to keep them short. And then I'm going to go back. So again, I have to skip that first bead. And then I'm going to go back, and then I can go all the way back up to the top. And when I get to the top, I'm just going to go through, oh, hang on, I'm missing, okay, I was missing a couple of 15s. When I get back up to the top of the fringe, I'm just going to go through that very first 11-0 on my stack, Okay, so you don't need to go up all of them, just go up that first one. And when I pull, make sure you tweak it so that your branch is hanging downwards. If it isn't, you want to make sure that it's happy to hang downwards, okay? And then I can just move forward into the next 11-0 on the stack, okay? Now I'm going to make one that doesn't branch and is probably a little shorter. So I'm just going to pick up like maybe 5, and then maybe one of these, 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 and one of these. And I'm going to call that done. Okay. So see how that one's a lot shorter than the first one I did? Okay. And again, I just have to, sorry, doesn't want to show what I'm doing. Okay. So again, I'm just going to skip that very first bead and I'm going to sew up the entire column and into that first 11-0 on my little stack that we made at the beginning. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do my other 2, and I'll come back when I'm ready to end that, and then we'll rethread our other thread and we'll finish off the top. Okay, so I'm going to do it off camera because, like I said before, there's no rules, but just make some shorter ones, some longer ones, and I like to do one that branches, one that doesn't, one that branches, and one that doesn't. And once you have your 4 fringes on, you can sew back up, you can tie your thread off, and you can cut it off. Okay, so I'll come back in a minute once I've done that. Okay, so hopefully you finished your little tassels, and the nice thing is you can kind of see how it's going as you're doing it. So I've done mine and I sewed up a couple beads, and then I went down the next column, and then I went up and I sewed a knot, and I went all the way up and I went all the way down, sewed another knot, and then I went up and I cut my thread. Just do be cautious when you're cutting your thread that you do cut the correct thread. Okay, that's not happened to me that I haven't, but I'm just saying it could happen. Okay, alrighty, so we're now coming out from the Superduo where we left it. We'll go ahead and rethread that that working thread that we had at the beginning, and for our very last finish here, we have to go up the next 2 herringbones to finish that round. Okay, after we've put our 4 on our Superduos there. Okay, so this next round we're going to add 2 here. So go ahead, pick up 2 11-0s again. We're going down here. Okay, so down our herringbone. Then we're going to go, see these 4 beads that are going around our Superduo here? We're going to go down the first bead and through our Superduo here. Okay. And then we have to go up, meaning out, upwards through this seed bead, the 4th one on that little bit that we added before. Okay, and then we can go up through the end of our herringbone here. Okay, and it's all going to kind of pull it together like that a little bit. All right, so again we're going to add 2, going to go down our herringbone, then we're going to go down that first one through the Superduo, and then we're going to go up the one on this side last bead on our herringbone. We're going to add 2. We're going down our herringbone, down that 4th bead, up the 4th bead, up the, well, I guess this is the 4th bead actually, and up the herringbone. So when I'm saying up, I'm like going away from myself. When I'm saying down, I'm going towards myself or towards the middle, I guess, okay? And then one more time, we're going to go down, down, through, up, up, okay, so at the end of that round, we should have our 4 sets of 4 herringbones here. So 4 pairs of beads, and that's how you'll know you got to the end. And then you should have your 4 going around your each Superduo, okay? So we are now coming out from the end of our herringbone on one of our strands right here, okay? So I'm going to pick up 1 bead, and I'm going to use a different color here. So I'm using an 11-0. And then we're going to pick up 1 11-0, and see the 2 beads on the end by your Superduo. We're going to pass into the first one of those. So I've added this 11-0 in between here, okay? And this is where it's going to start turning into more of an umbrella shape. So go ahead and kind of pull downward as you're working, okay? Then I pick up another 11. I pass through that next bead. Oh, try not to grab my tentacle. And then I'm going to pick up another 11, and I'm going to pass over into the next end of the herringbone. I'm going to pick up another 11, go into that second herringbone bead, pick up another 11, go into the end where the Superduos are, pick up an 11, go into the second bead where the Superduos are. So do you see what we're doing here? We're kind of adding 4 little peaks, okay? So we're just jumping from herringbone to here, to here, to here, adding 1 bead in between each bead that we pass through. So I'm adding clear ones in between the herringbone and here, and then I'm adding, for my end beads, I'm adding the pink. So I'm just going to quickly pop all those on. And it is starting to, if I pull it, you'll see it's starting to curve downwards. Okay, so here's my last pink bead, and then I just need to add my last clear bead here. And I'm going to go down through the herringbone and plus to finish the round, and then I have to go through my little point that I just added, okay? And then we're nearly done. This is our last little bit right here. So I'm going to pick up, and I'm going to change to this color, I think. I'm going to pick up 2 11-0s, and you're just going to sew between each of those point beads, okay? And that is going to pull your jellyfish into a real jellyfish shape when you do that. And once you've finished the round, you're going to go around again to pull it extra tight. and kind of stabilize it. So on my one that something went weird, I accidentally only picked up one in this bit, and it kind of made it lopsided. So just be very careful that you are picking up 2 beads in this step, okay? Okay. And you'll know when you get back to the start because these 2 beads will be lower than where you started, okay? So here is my jellyfish. So I've got to go around, reinforce this entire bottom that we just sewed, pull tighter, and then you can tie it off and sew your end in. And that's it. So I'll do that really quickly, and then I will come back right at the end. Okay, so here he is, my little red jelly, and it's funny because I didn't realize I didn't have any clear Superduos except for my ABs until I went to make this project, and I realized all of them are dark or opaque, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't even have any light colored ones. So anyway, here's little red, and here he is swimming in the ocean with his little friends. I think these are so adorable. I just love them. And if you wanted to make earrings, what I would do is that little stack of 4 there, I would just stick maybe a 8/0 or a 11/0 on the end of a head pin. I would poke it straight up the middle there, and then I just make a loop and attach it on to your earring finding that way. I think that would work out just wonderful. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy this project. I think they're really cute and fun, and they come out so cute. I really like the clear looking one. To me, this looks less like a, I mean, it does look like a jellyfish, but I don't know. I'm partial to the to the more neutral one. You could also, if you were doing your little skirt, you could, you know, use an accent color all the way around it, which would look very cute as well. Anyway, what are you going to do with your jellyfish? Are you going to put it onto your piece? Or are you going to make earrings? Let us know in the group and show us if you make a little swarm of them. We'd love to see it. Okay, guys, I will see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we will be making our little starfish. So I'll see you then. Okay, bye for now.